It's a dangerous business, defending our country.
I was in Afghanistan at that point, about 3 months. Along the way, we were crossing an open field area, and as I'm running across, I heard the bang.
It's hard to imagine a person surviving that.
I grew up in Livermore, California, just within San Francisco Bay Area. And just military thing, that looked interesting. That's something I wanted to do. I was 18 when I decided I was going to go to the Marine Corps, straight out of high school. My folks were very supportive. My dad, he was all for it. My mom was a little hesitant because I'm still the baby.
When Jason wanted to join the service, in my opinion, it was a step to allow him to be his own person.
Initially, I was actually a finance clerk.
We were very happy about that. Good, he'll be behind a desk.
I was like, I can't see myself doing this for the rest of my career in the Marine Corps. I'm going to get out. And that's when I saw EOD had opened up, and that actually looks like a fun job. EOD is explosive ordnance disposal. In a nutshell, whenever someone finds a device or unexploded ordnance, we go in and then we will do our utmost best to disarm. Some of the best advice I got was, when you're going down range to go take care of whatever you're taking care of, stop thinking that, oh, I might die. You're already dead. It kind of gets you in a frame of mind where you're focused on, I gotta make sure that this thing that is set up to kill me doesn't kill me and doesn't hurt anyone else. 2011 was my second trip over there. We were working out of an area in Sangin. We were attached to a infantry unit, and we were coming back from a raid, and we were all dismounted. Walking back, we were crossing an open field area, and I was the fourth guy crossing the field, following the same route the other three guys had taken. And as I'm running across, step in the right spot, I guess, I heard the bang, and everything went black. And then I came to right before I hit the ground, and I broke my hands. I broke my fall that way.
Hey, you hear me? You breathing?
I remember just laying there for a few seconds, and I'm looking at my hands, and I'm looking at my gloves, and smoke's coming out of the holes. And I was like, well, that can't be good.
So I was standing in the kitchen, basically dressed for work when the phone call came, and I said, hello? And he said, we regret to inform you that your son, Jason, has been injured. And at that point, I almost collapsed on the ground. I was in shock. I said, give me a minute. And I went over to get Jason's mother. And I told her, you need to listen to this because I will not be able to tell it to you. He told us that Jason had been severely injured. Both legs were gone, and that they were trying to get him stabilized at that time. Within less than 72 hours, he was back at Walter Reed.
I did kind of a self-assessment, because I still had no idea how bad it was. And I remember just checking under the sheets, going, okay, well, that leg's gone. And well, that leg's mostly gone. At the time, I was one of the most traumatically injured guys to have received those injuries and survive.
They talked about him taking a long time to recover and that he was going to be needing help. That's when I effectively recognized that I was going to be his caregiver.
When I actually met Jason and saw the severity of his injury, I was taken aback. I met him down at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego on one of my trips to visit our wounded there. I looked at Jason and I recall I said, well, you are a miracle. When I started going into the hospitals after playing Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump and visiting with people that were actually blown up, not pretend like I was in the movie, but actually blown up and missing their limbs and struggling in the hospitals, I was more interested in talking to them about this story of Lieutenant Dan's life after his injury. to get to that place where they can move beyond their injuries. That's why I started the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Gary had come down to San Diego to meet a lot of the folks, and through a couple of visits that we'd had, the topic of smart home had come up, and that they were interested in maybe building one for Jason.
One of the things we do is build these specially adapted smart technology homes for very badly wounded folks that might not be able to do that for themselves. We wanted to support Jason in his recovery and moving forward, and to take the stress away. They've earned it. They deserve it. They've given a lot for their country, and so we want to give something back. I asked Jason if he would like us to do a home for him.
When I found out that they were going to be building the home, I was like, awesome, this is going to be great. I'm going to get the house that will work for me.
The houses really make a difference because we have a tremendous team of builders that now they've done so many houses with our wounded that they know just how to do it.
Just the fact that this is now my home. It's been built to help make my life easier.
The whole thing is to restore independence, not only for the service member, but for the caregivers.
The benefit to me and my wife is the fact to know that our own place, we're right attached to the building, to be there for him.
With the Gary Sinise Foundation, everything is set up very specifically for whatever the injury is. Hallways were a pain for me. Hallways are like this. I'm going to make sure that there's not going to be a whole lot of hallways, and they're going to be wide. Needed to make sure that the bathrooms, I could get in there easy, plenty of space for me to be able to turn around, move around, as well as have a shower that was customized for me to use. Kitchen, I kind of took the middle ground. Well, my mom and dad live here too, and I don't want them, having to bend way down. The counters are lower, but it's convenient for both parties, if you will.
The ability to have a home that he can maneuver in, he can get himself from one place to the next, and I don't have to worry about it, was very much a great godsend to us. When we received the key, it felt like I was halfway through a dream. This is absolutely wonderful. Am I going to wake up?
And there's just that weight that just kind of just comes off. And that gratitude that you have towards everyone involved is kind of hard to put into words.
He has inspired me. He has motivated me. And people like Jason are the reason I started the Gary Sinise Foundation. I just want them to have a happy life going forward and to know that their service meant something.